Hey, so I received a message the other day on LinkedIn from a very nice lady named Mary, and she was telling me about a phone call she had received from PG&E. Well, at least supposedly from PG&E. Turned out, of course, it was a scam, and it was a really interesting story. And I thought the best way to bring this one to you guys was literally just get her on Zoom and let her tell you guys the story. So here it is. All right, so let's start from the beginning. I'll first just introduce. So I got Mary with me today, and I want you to start right in. Tell me what happened to you.
Okay, so some scammers called my husband, and my husband was working, so my husband gave them my phone number.
Okay.
And the first thing he said was, "How do you want to make your payment?" And I said, "Well, tell me what's going on. I don't know what's going on. What is this phone call all about?" So they had my information. They said that I made a PG&E payment on this date of this amount online, and said that their system was down. In this case, PG&E was down, and that my payment did not go through. And that if I didn't make a payment within 35 minutes, PG&E was going to turn off our gas and electricity. And I thought that just does not make any sense.
Yeah.
And then also they had recent information of mine. So I was like, wow, that was scary.
That recent information, that's the only thing. Like, I've seen this particular scam that you're describing a lot, but the information, I'm gonna do a little research on that one because it's really rare. I mean, generally speaking, they'll throw out some vague stuff, kind of like the psychics will do, like, hey, you paid a bill within the last 15 days, or like things that are obvious, but they generally don't have that granular. And before we started recording this, you'd mentioned it was very specific information.
Yes. And so they gave me an address where I can make my payment. They said that they were a servicing center or something like that. And I had 35 minutes to make my payment. So they caught me off guard. I didn't know what to say, what to do, but I was asking a lot of questions. And even the man was getting frustrated with me. And I said, you know what, you sound so much like a scam. And they hung up on me. I called PG&E myself. I told them what happened. And they said, nope, your account is fine. That was a scam.
I mean, you handled it perfectly. Like, that's what you want to do. Ask as many questions as you can. The fact that you got them frustrated to the point where they hung up, that's brilliant. Sometimes it's just fun if you get a scammer on the phone to just see how long you can keep them on the phone. If you're bored, if you got nothing better to do,
Yeah.
it just keeps spinning their wheels and see if you can keep them on like half an hour just because it'll drive them insane. How did they seem on the phone? Were they confident? Were they like coming from a position of authority? Were they aggressive? Were
They
they
were
friendly?
they were very unprofessional. Right away, what didn't seem right was that the first man didn't introduce himself properly. So he didn't say, "Hi, my name is so and so. I'm calling from PG&E. You're on a recorded line," anything like that. He just asked for me. The address that they wanted to give me was a 7-Eleven where I can go and make payments. I wasn't even aware of that. You can go to a 7-Eleven and make payments or somewhere near there
Yeah,
to
generally
make
what
payments.
they'll do with that is they'll want you to do like a wire transfer, MoneyGram type things. And so they'll give you like an address of a 7-Eleven, a Walmart, something along those lines where they want you to then wire money to someone.
Well, they totally caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting this phone call.
So I imagine had you gotten further into the conversation without them hanging up once they got frustrated with you, they would have given you that additional information of you need to wire this money to us because that's the easiest way for them to get their hands on the money. Sometimes they'll also use like Venmo or PayPal or one of those others, but the most common thing for them is to do a wire transfer. Ultimately, they're looking for a couple of things. They either want you to send them money, give them your credit card information over the phone, get your social security number. It's one of those things that's generally tied back to how can they make money off of you in a quick and easy way.
But how come my caller ID had PG&E's phone number? How is that possible? You know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
that's
I can explain that one real quick. So it's called spoofing, and just like you could spoof an email address, if I send an email to you, I can make it look like it comes from anybody, and anybody can do that. Same thing with phones. You can make a phone number show up to be anything you want. In fact, we did a segment a while back where one of the reporters gave me his mom's phone number, and I spoofed his phone number, called his mom, and got his mom to give me her social security number, pretending to be.
no.
So there's apps available online. You can literally just download an app and they'll let you do like 5 free calls, pretending to be any number you want to be. And then after that, you have to pay, like 25 cents or a buck or whatever to make calls. There's other ways you can do it with other types of phones, but the bottom line is it's really, really simple and anybody can do it. Is there anything else about the call that made it seem legitimate at any point in time? What else was in the call that you went, well, maybe it's okay, maybe it's legitimate? Was there anything like that?
Just the phone number and my recent information.
So I don't know how it got tied specifically to you and your personal account information. That one's scaring me a little bit. I mean, in general, if you see those types of things, I'd recommend making sure your computer is secured. I know you've got antivirus, maybe picking up, Malbytes or something to run an extra scan and just make sure there's nothing on your computer, because oftentimes what will happen is if they have that granular of level of information, it's going to either be because they've hacked the actual organization, which in this case is PG&E. Odds are we would have heard about that if there's a big breach. Otherwise, it's because they've gotten that information through something else. That something else is a lot of times tied back to the computer. When you're making payments like bill payments online, if you have the choice, use your phone or a tablet or a Chromebook versus a PC. PCs just have a lot more vulnerabilities in general to them. Not that you can't hack a mobile device, but it's a lot harder. It's a lot less risk with your mobile device than there is with desktops. Did I miss anything? Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, so the reason why I contacted you was because I've seen your videos before and I'm one of your fans. So I was like, no, Jim has to know this. So
I really appreciate it. No, I mean, that's the thing, is it's just these little things I worry, because it's the random person, like, yeah, you caught on to it very quickly, but I worry about people like my parents. And my parents, they're intelligent people, but they're also trusting people, and they're getting older. And when they get a call, sometimes they get a little flustered, a little confused. And it's really easy for someone to just catch them at that just right moment. They have the right phone number on there, they say the right things, and people just go, oh, okay. And they just, you inherently want to trust somebody, especially an older generation. So yeah, the more we can get the word out about these scams, the better everybody will be. All right, so just to sum this all up, if you receive a phone call from your utility company, whether that's gas and electric or phone or whatever happens to be, stop. Don't give out any personal information. If they ask for credit card information, social security number, they want you to go and wire them money, all of these things are major red flags. Instead, tell them you're going to call them back and hang up on them. Then pull out your most recent statement, look at the phone number on that statement, or find the organization online and get their phone number that way, and call their phone number. Once you call in, there'll be a place you can go to get a hold of billing and account information. Contact them there, ask them if there's a problem with your account, and they'll be able to help you. This will eliminate any confusion. And remember, as Mary pointed out today, the phone call she received showed that it was her utility company calling her, which means you can't just look at the caller ID and assume, oh, well, if it says what you're expecting it to be, that makes it legitimate, because again, criminals can spoof those numbers to make them look real when in reality they're just faked. So at the end of the day, just stop. Don't give out personal information until you're absolutely positive that you have contacted the organization and that you have established that trust, that you really are talking to somebody at your utility company. That's all I got.